1st of March 2014. Night Dhamma talk for practicing meditation at Maha Buddhist Society in Kuala Lumpur. Sit in a comfortable posture. Don't let our body weight heavy down for the ground. Close the eyes gently. Relax our mind and body. Let go tensions in the body. Keep our head and body upright, firm and without tension. Let our hands bounce down on each of our legs. If we keep one palm on top of the other, two without tension in the fingers or without pressing the hand on the other. Keep the breath natural and free. Don't try forcefully, but let it be naturally. To make our mind clean, keep the breath in the mind. Be mindful on the breath. This is practicing what we all need to do. We used to pay attention to each of our action, to be doing only without attachment. We must stop the habit of paying attention to what we are doing. Do what we must do and detach from each of our action. Abstaining from evil things, doing all good deeds, and keeping the mind clean and pure are what we all must do. Do what is necessary and be mindful on each of the action. If we are mindful on the breathing, we must know the pleasant happening of the breathing. If you feel pain, be mindful on the pain and try to know the pleasant happening of the pain. The object of mindfulness may change from time to time, but each of our knowing must be pleasant happening. The object of mindfulness may be different from each other, but the knowing must be only pleasant happening. If we are mindful on the breathing, knowing of breathing is also necessary to be mindful. Besides, even the pleasant action of mindfulness is also necessary to be mindful. Breathing, knowing of the breathing, and action of pleasant mindfulness are necessary to be mindful. If the pain is evident, we must be able to be mindful on the pain. We must also be mindful on the knowing of the pain and on the action of the mindfulness. If we are mindful on the pain, we must know the pleasant happening of the pain. If we are mindful on the knowing of the pain, we must know the pleasant happening of the knowing of the pain. If we are mindful on the pleasant action of mindfulness, we must know the pleasant happening of the action of mindfulness. If we are not knowing the pleasant happening, there will be continuous normal knowings in the mind. Trying to know the pleasant happening and detach from normal knowing. We are always paying attention one after another of living beings and non-living beings. It is because of attachment to do so. Always be mindful and stop paying attention to each of our actions. The action of mindfulness is not something, but to do only. Breathing is also to use only. Trying to stop paying attention to that breathing. Not to reject, we must be mindful on that breathing. Not to attach, we must stop paying attention to that breathing.